How does spiritual authority, meant to guide and uplift, sometimes transform into a tool of control and harm? What happens when the sacred trust placed in religious leaders is fundamentally betrayed? These are not easy questions, but they are vital ones. Religious institutions across the United States have long served as pillars of community, sources of profound comfort, and catalysts for immense good. They inspire charity, foster hope, and provide moral frameworks for millions. This positive impact is undeniable and deeply cherished by many. Yet, beneath this visible surface, countless hidden stories of abuse and misconduct persist. These narratives often remain unspoken, shrouded in silence, fear, and institutional protection. They represent a profound breach of trust within sacred spaces. Our core argument is this: it is not faith itself that leads to harm, but rather unchecked power. When power within religious structures goes unchallenged, it creates an environment ripe for abuse. Power within religious settings operates on a unique and often profound level. It is derived from a deep spiritual trust where individuals believe leaders speak for or embody divine will. This trust is far more potent than any secular authority. This unquestioning loyalty, while often well-intentioned, can lead to a dangerous accumulation of power in the hands of a few. Congregants may feel compelled to obey, believing their spiritual well-being depends on it. This dynamic can disarm natural skepticism. Leaders can then exert control over teachings, dictating what is considered truth and doctrine. They may also influence or directly manage institutional finances, often with little external oversight. Furthermore, their influence can extend deeply into the personal lives of their followers, shaping decisions on marriage, career, and family. A significant issue in many religious institutions is the pervasive lack of robust checks and balances. Unlike secular organizations, internal governance structures can be weak or non-existent, leaving leaders largely unaccountable. This absence of oversight creates a vacuum where power can easily be misused. In such environments, leaders can effectively operate as absolute monarchs within their domains. Their decisions are rarely questioned, and their authority is often perceived as divinely ordained, making dissent incredibly difficult. This concentration of power is a critical vulnerability. The transformation from spiritual authority to oppressive control often begins subtly. Leaders may start by claiming a unique, direct line to divine communication, asserting they speak directly for God. This claim elevates their words beyond mere human counsel. Dissent and questioning are then actively discouraged, often subtly at first, then more overtly. Members are taught that challenging leadership is a sign of spiritual immaturity or a lack of faith. This stifles critical thought and open dialogue. Any doubt or skepticism is frequently framed as sin or spiritual rebellion against God's appointed leadership. This tactic weaponizes deeply held beliefs, making it terrifying for individuals to voice concerns. It creates an internal conflict between conscience and perceived spiritual duty. Financial pressure and shaming are also common tools of control. Members may be shamed for not giving enough or pressured to donate beyond their means, with promises of divine blessing or warnings of spiritual consequences. This exploits their devotion for material gain. Fear-based teachings are another powerful mechanism. Doctrines emphasizing hell, eternal judgment, or divine punishment for disobedience are used to maintain compliance. These teachings instill a profound fear of stepping outside institutional boundaries. Finally, individuals are often isolated from outside perspectives and information. Critical media, former members, or even differing theological viewpoints are dismissed as dangerous or demonic. This creates an echo chamber, reinforcing the leader's narrative and preventing independent thought. The abuse of power in religious institutions manifests in various destructive ways. These actions erode trust and inflict deep wounds on individuals and communities. Understanding these manifestations is crucial for identifying and addressing them. Financial abuse is a pervasive and often overlooked form of misconduct. It involves the misuse of donations and funds intended for spiritual or charitable purposes. These resources are diverted for personal gain or extravagant institutional expenses. Leaders may adopt lavish lifestyles, acquiring luxury homes, private jets, or expensive vehicles, all funded by congregant donations. This starkly contrasts with the sacrificial giving often encouraged from their followers. Such displays betray the very spirit of stewardship. Spiritual justification is frequently employed to rationalize financial misconduct. Leaders might claim divine mandate for their wealth or assert that their opulent living is necessary to maintain their status or influence. This twists theological principles for personal benefit. Ultimately, this represents a profound betrayal of sacrificial givers. Many congregants donate out of deep faith, often at personal cost, believing their contributions support a sacred mission. Discovering these funds are misused shatters their trust and devotion. Emotional and spiritual manipulation can be even more damaging than financial abuse, leaving invisible scars that take years to heal. It targets the very core of a person's identity and belief system. This form of abuse undermines autonomy and self-worth. Guilt is often a primary control tool, wielded with precision by manipulative leaders. Members are made to feel perpetually inadequate, sinful, or responsible for institutional problems. This constant guilt keeps them compliant and dependent. Personal struggles and confessions, shared in vulnerability, are frequently weaponized. Intimate details revealed in confidence can be used to shame, control, or discredit individuals if they challenge authority. This turns trust into a liability. A profound fear of leaving the institution is instilled in members. They are often taught that leaving means abandoning God, losing salvation, or facing dire spiritual consequences. This fear traps individuals in harmful environments, preventing them from seeking safety. Understanding why individuals remain in abusive religious environments is complex, rooted in deep psychological and social factors. It is rarely a simple choice, but rather a confluence of powerful influences. These factors make departure incredibly difficult. Social and familial factors play a significant role. Religious institutions often provide a strong sense of community, identity, and belonging. Leaving can mean losing one's entire social network, alienating family members, and facing intense pressure from loved ones to stay. The fear of isolation is powerful. Emotional conditioning is another critical element. Years of teachings can instill a profound fear of damnation or of disappointing God. Individuals may genuinely believe that their eternal salvation is tied to their adherence to the institution and its leadership. This spiritual fear is a potent deterrent to leaving. Furthermore, many individuals simply lack awareness of alternatives. They may have grown up within the institution, knowing no other spiritual path or community. The idea of a healthy, non-abusive religious experience might seem foreign or even impossible. This limited perspective can keep them trapped. Achieving positive change within religious institutions requires a deliberate and sustained commitment to reform and accountability. This is not merely about identifying problems, but actively implementing solutions. These pathways are essential for healing and prevention. Key elements for reform begin with radical transparency, especially concerning financial matters. Open books, independent audits, and clear reporting on how donations are used build trust and prevent misuse. Financial integrity is a cornerstone of ethical leadership. Robust accountability structures and external oversight are also crucial. This includes independent boards, clear grievance procedures, and mechanisms for reporting misconduct without fear of retaliation. Leaders must be subject to review, not exempt from it. Shared leadership models can help diffuse concentrated power. Distributing authority among multiple individuals or committees prevents any single person from becoming an absolute monarch. This fosters collaboration and collective responsibility. Finally, the encouragement of critical thinking and questions is paramount. Healthy religious environments welcome inquiry and intellectual engagement rather than suppressing it. Fostering an atmosphere where doubt can be explored openly strengthens faith rather than undermining it. The conversation around abuse of power in U.S. religious institutions is difficult, but it is profoundly important. Awareness is the first step toward healing and prevention. We must collectively acknowledge these hidden problems. It is imperative that we speak up against abuse whenever and wherever it occurs. Silence only perpetuates the cycle of harm and protects perpetrators. Our voices are powerful tools for change and justice. We must demand accountability from all religious institutions, regardless of their size or denomination. This means advocating for transparent policies, independent oversight, and genuine consequences for those who abuse their positions. No institution should be above scrutiny. Our core message remains clear. Genuine faith empowers individuals, fostering growth, autonomy, and love. Abusive leadership, by contrast, dominates and controls, stripping individuals of their agency and spiritual freedom. The distinction is critical. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that spiritual authority serves the people, nurturing their well-being and spiritual journey, rather than controlling them. This commitment safeguards the sacred trust and upholds the true purpose of faith. This is the scholar's ledger, where history, faith, and power are revealed. If this video gave you a new perspective or made you think about power dynamics in ways you hadn't considered, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that tackles the intersection of faith, culture, and authority in America. Drop a comment and let me know. Have you witnessed abuse of power in religious settings? What do you think needs to change? Let's keep this conversation going because silence only protects the powerful. Until next time, remember, genuine faith empowers, it doesn't enslave. Real spiritual leadership serves, it doesn't dominate. And your voice matters in demanding accountability from every institution, religious or otherwise.